reminds me I got to start the recording. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so welcome to Neutrals Radio and Let's Not Argue. So a couple years ago when we were talking about that, I remember actually about a year and a half ago, you were on the first episode of Intelligent Ignorance.
Yes.
Okay, there was 4 of us on that show that time.
Yes.
And your thought process was, let's argue.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's let's not argue.
Let's not.
What was the thought process then? What's the thought process now, and why the change?
Then I was just like, F it. I don't care. Let's argue. You know what I'm saying? But then once you think about it and you go in a little deeper, you're like, well, we really can't get nowhere with that. So let's not argue. Let's have a nice, sensible conversation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Okay.
And we can agree to disagree. We can agree or agree to disagree, but let's not argue about it because that go other places. Then nobody cares at that point what points you're trying to make.
Right.
And if you're making a good point, if we just arguing, everything's getting lost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And everybody's just trying to hear their own voice.
I just want to argue now. I just want to hear my voice. You know, so let's not do that. Let's talk about it.
So, you know, some of the not going to say controversial, but some of the views off the top of your head, are you able to repeat or bring up any of the things that you have said on I'm not on Facebook right now, but there's been things where, I mean, let's be honest, there's been things where I'm like, yeah, that's pretty honest. There's been things where I'm like, I don't agree with that. You know, and that's just what it is. So
anything how about anything you can remember that you agreed or disagreed with?
Like, I'm trying to think of some things that stand out, right? So one of the things that I'm going to look up your stuff in a minute, but let's talk about this. Let's take it from this perspective. So, and I haven't heard any opinions from you about this. All right, let me make that clear right now. But one of the most controversial things of 2019 was Kanye West. He had a few controversial things.
That Kanye was 2019.
Kanye was 2019, absolutely. Kanye said that slavery was a choice. When you heard those comments from Kanye, now let's before I do, have you ever worked with Kanye?
No.
Okay.
No. I would.
I would. You know what? I would love to do a show with Kanye.
Yeah.
I would love to have him teach me how to produce. But anyway, when you heard those comments from Kanye, what was your thinking?
I mean, I understood his feeling and thought process on it. You know, I mean, because somebody might say, death is better. So if I got a choice,
and some of them,
a lot
of
them died. You know what I mean? Said no, death is better. So I, from that, kind of understood, where he was trying to go with that. But again, when you're emotional about things and you just hear things, you just go off and you don't see the viewpoint of the other person. You just go off because really we've been taught, or our subconscious has just been trained to be emotional about a lot of things. And the emotion, if we can lose the emotionalism, then we can see things clear. You know what I'm saying? So
that again.
I might not agree with what he said, but I can see I know where he's coming from with it. But nobody chooses to be a slave. That's just something you had to live under. You know what I mean? That's more like a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you didn't choose slavery. You know what I mean? That's the nice way, way. But that's a prisoner of war is what we are, what we were, what we still are. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you had to live under that. Nobody was like, it was like, hey, I got this slavery thing, but then I got this freedom thing over here. Which one you want to do?
Right.
So like, I work for you for free for 400 years.
They didn't have that option.
No, it wasn't that.
It wasn't that choice. It wasn't that choice.
No.
One of the things, and I'm going through your feed, there's a few things I wanted to ask you about from the Thanksgiving weekend. But one of the things that I did want to talk to you about was your decision to go vegan. You weren't always vegan.
No.
But you had made the decision to go vegan, and what you want to do is have the community. You want to educate the community on the choices that they make.
Yeah.
When it comes to eating.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to take on that?
Just really looking at family history.
Okay.
Knowing that if I do what they do, I'm gonna get what they got from those things. You know what I mean? And then all my life, I was an athlete, man. I was always like that. Never been really down sick like that. And then I had got pneumonia. So that was scary. Because I'm like, wait a minute. You know, you feel like this ain't supposed to be happening, not to me. Like I feel great. I felt great. You know what I mean? And then it
came down with it.
It just hit me hard. And then I was like, all right, I gotta take another look at this health thing and see where I can make some changes with that. So, because I don't ever want to feel like that again. That was death, man. I was making plans for it in my head, like it was over.
Really?
Yeah,
that's how you felt?
That's how I felt. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's over.
Now you felt like your diet had a direct impact on it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And what kind of
just preparing myself internally to deal with things like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, stuff like pneumonia and a lot of things is in us. Is opportunistic stuff that waits for you to be weak and your immune system to be weak down, and then it grab a hold of you like that because your immune system is just trash, really.
Right. So like cancer, for one. Mm-hmm. Cancer is a thing that you don't catch it, right? It's something that's in you that feeds off sugar, and things like that, which I need to stop.
Feeds off of you being in a poor state internally, poor. So I just wanted to create an environment. So it was a conscious decision. You know, I knew I was going to be looked at funny. I knew I was going on a limb out by myself. You know what I mean? Okay. But you know, something I just learned just being in life and being in a relationship. You know what I mean? With my wife, it's not about being hardcore all the time. It's like, a turtle philosophy. Like, you can be hard on the outside, but be soft on the inside. But then be willing to stick your neck out, even when nobody else wants to.
How hard was your wife? Now, I full exposure, whatever the word is. Excuse me. I grew up with you. We grew up together. I know she wasn't always a vegan.
Yeah.
How did you have to convince her, or was she?
What happens is, when you make a big change like that, a lot of frustration. You get angry because I'm researching things, I'm studying this, I'm looking at that, and I'm like, man, I've been doing it wrong all this time, or somebody taught me to do it wrong all this time. So you get angry at first, and in the beginning you're trying to force it on people. You're trying to force people because it's like you see the light, like I see it, but they don't see it. You know what I mean? But you have to remember that though when you're trying to change someone. It's
every year. My wife and I do what's called a Daniel fast. Okay. Now I never heard of the Daniel fast till her and I started dating, and what that is, it's pretty much basically a vegan style of eating, but what I guess the way we do it is more vegan. But what it is only thing you're supposed to consume is something that comes from the earth. Only things come from seed to, I forgot what the word. She's gonna be mad. She's probably listening right now. Seed to something. So it's only water and things that have been planted is all you're supposed to be eating. And when I'm a candy fiend, like I like gummies. Okay, when you have the withdrawal symptoms of the sugar, you tend to get angry. When you're not eating the things that you find as pleasureful,
you will go to.
You get angry
when you stressed, depressed.
Changes.
When things ain't going your way, it's like in the movie when the girl break up with her boyfriend. What does she do? The big tub of ice cream comes out with the spoon, calls the girlfriend, bring an extra spoon, and we just gonna load up on this sugar. It becomes the comfort zone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And they feel good about it.
Which is the detrimental. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not good at that point when you can't deal with things emotionally and know how to take care of them without destroying yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we trapped in a lot of that, not just sugar, but alcohol and smoking and the drinking. It's like, I can't deal with this. I don't know how to deal with this. So give me a substance. Give me something that can get me
through, get me by.
You know what I'm saying?
Get me past it. But then the problems are still there.
Yeah, and then that's when you wake up and then you obese.
Right.
Or you diabetic and you high blood pressure and you know what I'm saying? Because you overindulge now. Now you overdo it.
Right.
That's what that movie scene is trying to tell us. Look how this person can't deal with something and they get a 5-gallon tub of ice cream. Not a scoop,
sitting on
not
the
a
couch.
Pint, not a half a pint.
Right, sitting on the couch with the bathrobe on.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, with the solid spoon.
So you overdo it. You know what I'm saying?
So there are many layers to you, right? You're a thinker. All right, you're I would say innovative. I mean, you're not the first vegan, but you've turned your lifestyle into a way of life, into a business.
Yes.
That post right there, I just put it out. I put when you want to put that out there. And
so this post says, Seems to me that the only two eras America loves to portray about black people is either the slave or dope dealer narrative.
Is that? Are you talking about like Hollywood
movies, television?
Okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
As if we have no history before bondage or did nothing but deal crack after being released from bondage.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like
let's talk about that, because I tend to agree with you, but I want to go back and forth about that, because I do agree with you that we, especially since the 2000s, we've had so many shows that have portrayed African Americans in a negative light, but glamorized it. One of the most popular shows ever on TV, The Wire, right? They portrayed black people in Baltimore, which was heavy with what was going on. You know, all the black people, they were in the hood, they were in the projects, they were smoking, they was shooting up, they was whatever the case may be. But before that, right, you didn't have but so many, I guess, positive portrayals. You had the Cosby Show. I can remember that. You had Different World.
Yeah.
You
Fresh
had
Prince.
Fresh Prince.
You know.
So that was like three of the tops, right?
Good Times.
Good Times. But see, here's the thing. You're right. Here's the thing about Good Times. Good Times, the family was in the projects, struggling. They can never get over that hump. But at the time Good Times came out, there wasn't a lot of black faces on the TV.
Yeah.
So to see Good Times, to see Jefferson's, Sanford and Son, just to see the black faces on TV was a big deal. It was good. Jefferson's, he moved on up. He was a rich dude. He had money. Sanford and Son, even though he's a junk man, he had his own business, right? People don't look at it that way, but he had his own business. And he was raising his son. He was a single father raising his son because his wife passed away.
Yep.
Cosby Show, a lawyer and a doctor.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, we know what Bill Cosby has become. You know, he's fallen from grace, but his show put a positive light, and he always wanted to put a positive light. So
more before that, just to pause right there. Just because of that show, so many black people enrolled in college. Just because of the Cosby Show.
That in a different world.
In that era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the different world. That's why he had that a different world spinoff.
Yeah.
Because never before, they'd never seen this many black people trying to go to college.
Right.
Just because of the Cosby Show.
I'll be honest. Like, I mean, college was always, by my family was always like, yeah, you're going to do this and you're going to go to college. So that was my thought process. But
that helped you. That showed them that entertainment does have an effect on people.
Absolutely. Like when I went to college, I went to a black school, and I just thought that's what it's going to be like. I mean, it wasn't, certain aspects of it, but it was just like, I wanted to go to.
You thought you was going to meet Jasmine Guy, I
thought I was going to meet Jasmine Guy. I thought my best friend was going to flip up shades.
You know what I mean?
It was just.
I mean, they made a whole clothing line from it. You remember that?
Absolutely.
The black college HBCU sweatsuits,
and I still want it.
You understand? Yeah.
Pretty pricey now.
Yeah.
a little pricey than where I still want one.
But that really showed what entertainment could really.
So from your post, now the way, can we find positive images in Hollywood of us now?
We can, but
where are they?
We rarely talk about them.
Rarely, because
the Powers of the world and the Godfather of Harlem,
which
Snowfall.
I haven't watched that, but I heard it's pretty good.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard it's good, but it's a negative light.
Yeah, it's just.
Did it start? Let's shoot the breeze here. Excuse me, shoot in the breeze. Did it start with Boyz in the Hood? Because Boyz in the Hood was so popular, and it's still popular to this day.
I think it started before that. I think it started once that blaxploitation, that pimp era came in.
Right, but that was like before Cosby Show. Like kind of in the '80s, that kind of phased away.
Yeah, but you
got a good point.
Before that, you figure it was like young black kids had to look up to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, and all of them until they wiped them out and then brought in the pimps. In the 70s.
And glamorized it.
And glamorized the cocaine, like the pimping and the hoeing. You know what I mean? The gangster shoot 'em up stuff.
And they couldn't put that on TV Right, in the 80s. They couldn't put it on TV in the 80s.
Right away. Like, not, you know what I'm saying? They had to test the waters, though.
They had to wait.
To see how we would
till,
react to it and see how we would take to it.
Man.
You know what I mean?
How about it?
And then, you know, it's like, all right, let's throw them a bone in the 80s to me. Let's act like we're going to get them together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then the 90s come. Then the really shoot 'em up, bang, bang, gangster stuff. You know what I mean? Then it's like,
you know, Boyz in the Hood.
I look at this stuff and say, why are they rehashing this stuff?
All the time.
I don't even know if anybody sells crack anymore on the street. You know what I mean? So why are you reopening a dope deal that really ain't even taking place right now? You know what I'm saying? So what are you trying to say? You're trying to tell us that this is who you are. This is what you're supposed to be. Just at the black male, you destroy your community. You do not help it. You do not help it.
And the entertainment has an effect on it. I mean, because you see the glamorization. Yeah. Like I think it's Scarface. You know, Scarface came out.
Yeah, I don't mind you telling a story, but let's be real. White people do more dope, but where's they dope show? They do more dope than anybody on the planet.
Only one they had was what was that one movie?
Cops.
the movie with Boston George, Blow.
Yeah, Blow.
That was like the only one, and that was glamorized.
But they don't just on TV once a week, twice a week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Multiple shows showing you how they just shooting up and doing heroin all day, and you know what I'm saying? And the white man destroying this community.
Does that lead to our people getting shot by the police for no reason? Because it's not just black people watching these shows; it's white folks watching.
Here's the thing about a white boy, a white man, right? And in our community, policing it. Have you ever seen that white boy in your community before? Did he go to school with you? No.
More times than not, no.
The first time you ever saw him was he was in a cop uniform, right? So here's this white boy that grew up all his life. His only reference to black life is what he saw on television,
right? That's
what he heard in music. So the music says, I'm a killer, I'm a killer, I'm a killer. I shoot first, bang. I don't care about my woman. That's a B. I don't care about my brother. He's a nigga. I'll shoot him. I take his money. I bang, gangster, right? And then the TV say the same thing. It's the images. Every time on the nightly news is the black face is the suspect. Right. This is only reference to black life. He don't know that in the hood we got doctors, lawyers, engineers, contractors, plumbers, people who own their own business. They don't know that.
Right.
So that's his introduction.
And he's already scared.
Oh, he's already scared. And now he puts on a uniform and now he's got a gun. And he's already afraid. Okay?
Now let me speak to that point, because the neighborhood I grew up in, you've been to that neighborhood before. Growing up in that neighborhood, all the cops either look like us. If they didn't look like us, all the cops were from that neighborhood. All of them. They went to school in that neighborhood. They knew like my folks. They knew your wife's folks. They all knew each other. It's not like that anymore around there. I do not know.
None of the cops is from there.
I know maybe one cop, and he's about to retire. So I really don't know.
Now imagine if I hire you to be a police and I say, I'm about to send you to this neighborhood. It's dangerous. Them niggas sell dope all day, do dope. They like to kill. They don't care about nothing. Now go out there and work.
Now my mindset is already tarnished about what's going on out here.
Okay,
everybody is
I'm already nervous.
Absolutely.
I've been already told that you want to kill me when you don't. So now the magic of cell phone footage and body cams and all this now shows us today that before that, even black people would hear, oh, cop shot a black man. Even a black person would say, oh, the nigga must be doing something wrong.
Right.
But now you see today, he ain't doing nothing wrong.
Let's flip the script a little bit. I've worked in the media for many, many years, so I know how the media works. This past summer, okay, I'm going to bring this up, and you might know where I'm going. This past summer, they had a standoff. You remember that? And
Nice town. No Philly.
Yeah. They didn't glamorize, but it was on the news for quite a while. Now, I know how the news works. When there's weather going on, first story on the news is the bad weather. If there's something heinous going on, first story in the news is whatever heinous is going on. Now, when you have these things, the standoff, that it was national news. Why was it national news? I mean,
it's the black man's face.
Exactly.
They have white standoffs every day.
All the
There's
time.
a standoff right now. Somebody white having a standoff. Got
Right
the whole
now.
family hostage.
And it was. I can remember when it happened. I was like, he's not gonna make it out.
Mm-hmm.
He made it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really publicize the fact that they didn't publicize the fact that he made it out alive. He gave himself up and stuff like that. They kind of just let it be. That all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's in jail.
Which makes no sense. I mean, because y'all shooting 100 black men a day unarmed, and then here's one who you tell me is shooting at y'all, and y'all don't shoot.
How about that? So
what type of game is this?
So those are some of the things that we'll be talking about on this show. So let me run off a few movies from what we were talking about.
Let's do it.
All right, there was Boyz in the Hood.
Menace to Society.
Menace to Society. Wow, I forgot about that. Menace to Society. You had what's the one with Wesley Snipes?
You had
New
South
Jack
Central.
City, South Central.
New Jack. And I think they want to reboot New Jack City. Why? Why do you want to rehash crack dealing?
I don't understand.
Why do you want to unleash that and rehash it on the people?
Sugar Hill.
Mm-hmm.
You said South Central.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few movies, right? Let's even look at some of the slave movies. There's some slave movies.
Oh man,
started with like Roots.
Yeah,
right. Started with Roots. That was a big deal.
Which was a total lie because we know that Alex Haley is a plagiarizer who stole that.
How about that?
Kunta Kinte character from a whole nother book that a white man wrote that was a fantasy. And said it was his family, and it wasn't his family in Africa. He didn't know nobody in Africa.
And when I heard that, I was like, damn. That whole...
It's a court case right now. If you don't believe me, Google Alex Haley's plagiarizing court case right now. If you don't believe it, he plagiarized the whole Roots. Kunta Kinte is not even a real person.
It's not. How about that? And there's been so much. And Colin Kaepernick wore the shirt about Kunta Kinte.
So what type of game he playing?
But it's movies like 12 Years a Slave. You had Glory wasn't a slave movie, but it was. But it wasn't.
Yeah.
But you have so many slave movies. Harriet's not, from what I'm
Django.
told, it's not a slave movie. But
Mine, by the way, Django is my favorite slave movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because he was shooting on
Because
white
what
folks'
happened at the
heads
end.
smooth off their shoulders. You know what I'm saying? It
Yo.
wasn't no sex. You know what I mean? Nothing derogatory. You know what I mean? He could speak well. He was doing everything. You know what I mean? He wasn't scared.
He was a bad boy.
When he pulled up on that horse,
Yeah.
I rewind that part 1,000 times.
Who that on that nag?
Somebody said, white men hate black men on horses because they got to look up to them. You know what I mean?
So we have those movies, right? You have movies like Friday, not derogatory, fun. They're comedies.
Fun. Yeah.
They're supposed to come out with a new Friday movie.
Here's the thing. It just pause you right there about the slave thing. There was a whole life for us before slavery.
A whole life that we really, we're still
I don't
trying
like
to learn.
when we call ourselves the descendants of slaves. You're the descendants of free people whose freedom was interrupted by slavery.
I like that.
You know what I mean? You're the descendant of free people who was interrupted by that. So stop saying I'm the adios or whatever they called it. I'm the descendant. You're not the descendant of a slave. You're the descendant of a genius who was turned into a slave. Because if that genius wasn't turned to a slave, you wouldn't have any of the buildings that's erected on American soil right now.
How do you feel about people? And I might be going somewhere you might not be expecting. How do you feel about people trying to find out their lineage and their ancestry through those like Ancestry.com and the DNA things and all like that?
I mean, if that's what people want to do. My thing is, once you find out, what you gonna do with the information?
That's good.
Why are you doing it? Are you doing it just because it's like a fad? It comes up in your Facebook timeline to say,
I don't trust these things.
I don't trust them at all.
I don't trust them because there's two reasons I don't trust them. How do we really know that they're being real?
Come on,
that
man.
they're
Yeah.
Another thing is we've seen quite a few people that have done these things and have been linked to crimes. Like some other people in their family been linked to crimes from these things. So what are they really using this stuff for?
I stole you, and now give me $99 to tell you where I stole you from.
Man,
Which it's just a lie.
Man,
you know what I mean? A lie. Like, but my thing is, if you're gonna do it, what you doing it for? What you gonna do with the info? Don't just continue to go back to work and be the slave. Now that you know where you come from, now what you gonna do? You know what I mean? What you gonna do with it? How you gonna live now? My thing is, no matter where you go, there you are, and that's what they know. No matter where you go, there you are. What is that saying? If I'm a coward downtown, I'm a coward uptown. If I'm a gangster in Detroit, I'm a gangster in Chicago. It doesn't change.
Right.
You know what I mean? Speaking of the drug thing, Bumpy Johnson was a gangster in Harlem. He a gangster in Brooklyn. They knew who he was. It doesn't change. No matter where you go, there you are. So if I'm a slave in America and I'm letting the white man whoop my ass here, what makes me think if I move to Africa, I'm going to have a better time? Because he over there just going to whoop my ass on new soil.
Talk about it.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Talk about it. Well, look, we're gonna wrap this up here because you gotta give the people, leave the people wanting more.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they say in the entertainment business, right? You gotta leave the people wanting more. I want to thank you for being. Well, shoot, I was with you. This is your show, so I want to thank you for joining New Twist Radio and bringing your words to New Twist Radio. I'm just gonna I'm gonna say it right now, man. Go get them.
Let's do it.
Go get them, man. So that's what we're going to be bringing to you here on Let's Not Argue. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be opening your mind. We're going to be talking about different things. I'm probably going to be tasting some food. And, we're going to be doing all that. But definitely make sure you check out Go Vegan Philly, 401,
yes.
right?
Yes.
401
Fayette
Street in Conshohocken, PA, Wednesdays through Saturdays.
Yes, 5 to 9 p.m.
5 to 9 p.m.
Yes.
And, before we go, I wanted to ask, how was the Friendsgiving?
It was amazing. It was awesome, man. Food was amazing. They loved it.
Yeah.
So next year it's going to be even more people. It's going to be bombed out.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely proud of you. Look, man, make sure you check us out next week here on New Twist Radio. I'm sorry, I'm looking for a song to put up. I want to put something up. Here on New Twist Radio, we want to appreciate y'all for checking us out. And, we're going to be coming with quite a few topics to listen to on this Let's Not Argue. It's going to be a cornucopia of calisthenics.
I like that word.
I was trying to sound trying to make myself sound smart.
We out.
Trying to use words like T.I. does. All right, keep it locked, y'all.